How's everybody doing out there? My name is Duane Fletcher with Fletcher Community Media. I want to do a quick podcast right quick. I got some issues that need to be talked about. So we're gonna do a quick podcast here. Some of you may know me by some of the books that you see me talking about around town. Some of the books that you see me talking about at the city council meetings and things like that. This one is I also do podcasts, which is this right here. So some of you might, if you ever watch one of my podcasts, you see me talk about my books. Codename Lionfish, they call it Chinese Spy at the base here in Jacksonville. This is an action novel that talks about. It's a really good book. Um, Dance of the Mongoose. Dance of the Mongoose. Okay, Dance of the Mongoose. This talks about the few weeks leading up until the first lockdowns when the coronavirus hit. The coronavirus hit, and there was lockdowns and quarantines. Well, this talks about the 2 weeks before then, and it talks about the stock market, and it talks about the path of the original virus that apparently went from one state to another when they uh, first discovered the virus in Seattle, Washington. When they first said they think the first one of the first reported cases was Seattle, Washington, and this talks about that. And this is a really good book also, Dance of the Mongoose. Now let's talk about some of the new stuff. Now, okay, the Nibble Necks. This talks about twin brothers, Russian hitmen that came to Jacksonville a long time ago. This talks about them and all of the trouble that they caused when they came to town and stuff like that. It's a really good book. The Nibble Necks. Um, the Battle of Fletcher. This is also a really good one. This one talks about this one kind of like Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, except for the Russians are the bad guy in this one. This is a really good book also. Basically, it's a contrast between Napoleon fighting Russia 200 years ago and basically what's going on today, right now in Ukraine. It's a really good book also. The Battle of Fletcher, The Arrows. It's a really good book. So what y'all know, arrows mean trench. It's a trench, the trench warfare that's going on. That's what the arrows mean, trench warfare. Just so you got some facetious people out there that make up all kind of foolishness, but that's what it means. It means uh trench warfare. That's what the arrows mean. Okay, all right. Yeah, and last but not least, these two, the Black Hand. Part one and two. This is the books that's causing all the controversy. All the controversy. The Black Hand, part one talks about a tennis pro that allegedly doubles as an assassin for the KGB, for the Russians. This is a really good book, also. And this one is The Black Hand, Act Two, The Child in the Storm. Okay. So this is also a really good book. And basically, it talks about um, uh, some of the uh, some of the same people from the first book infiltrating the military and stuff like that and trying to go after the vice president. And this one right here talks about them going after the president. This book, they were after the president. This book, they were after the vice president. These are really good books. If you get a chance to, there's a part three coming out. It's going to be a part three, Act Three, The Black Hand, Act Three. It should be out. I know it'll be out before the election and stuff like that. But right now, I'm compiling notes, and the notes are piling up, and once the notes pile up, then I start to write, and um. And it's going to be really good. It's going to be very informative, and it's going to be a very good book. But if you get a chance to check out blurb.com, BLURB, let's pull it up here, blurb.com, and you can, Duane Fletcher, blurb.com. Okay, you can preview the books. Let's see, here we go. On blurb.com. Let's visit the website. But you can preview the books on blurb.com. I don't know if y'all can see that. But all you got to do is click preview down here. Once you click preview, it'll take you to the book and you can read it for free. And I have it unlocked so that some of the publishers and stuff can I have it unlocked so that some of the publishers can get a chance to read over it and stuff like that. But it's a really good book series. Okay. So blurb.com, BLURB, blurb.com, author Duane Fletcher. If you get a chance, check it out. Okay. So I spoke at the city council meeting the other night, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. And normally I had been kind of distressed at some of the goings on where basically you don't get enough time to speak, and that's how I ended up doing the podcast because depending if there's a lot of people down there, they cut it down from 3 minutes to 2 minutes or to 1 minute to for you to have a chance to do public speaking, and so I started doing the podcast. But and not only that, but some of the issues I had talked to you guys before about some of them people basically flipping the information around to support other issues and stuff like that Basically, they lie for the Russians. Jacksonville has a sister city relationship with Murmansk, Russia, and I think President Zelensky from Ukraine even got on TV and talked about it one time before, and they got so agitated they hid the Russian flag. They got flags of different places that they have sister city ties with, and somebody hid the Russian flag at City Hall. So it apparently it bothered them that was being said about them. But the comments instead of hiding the Russian flag, why don't you cut out with some of these shenanigans like lying on people for the Russians and stuff like that? And uh that brings up the topic of the day because I'm gonna do a quick podcast. And the topic of the day is that first and foremost, I want to talk about Kamala Harris running for president. Okay, so Kamala Harris. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Kamala Harris. Congratulations to Kamala Harris. I think she make a good president. She's well educated. She's a career politician. She's been a prosecutor. First she became a lawyer. Then she became a prosecutor in California. Then she became a senator, and then she was vice president under Biden. She's had a full career, and I think she's very well prepared for the job. Um, so that she's got more education than some of these other guys that some people that have been president. She got more education than Donald Trump. First and foremost, so there's some people that have been president that's not as educated as she is. Um, so I think she would make a good president because that's what the issue is. Not only that, but see, I'm gonna go to my Twitter feed here for a second. I'm gonna read off to you some of the stuff. This is how I take notes sometimes. What I do is I I I use the news stories that's coming in to um to talk about what's going on. So some of the news stories here are basically my notes that I'm using to research things for writing and podcasting and things like that. But I noticed here we had people that they kept talking about this $96 million. Okay, $96 million that Biden had in his war chest for another presidential run, and they were saying that basically there were some people that said that the money is not for her, the money was for him, and that they don't want her to run for president. So what you have here is an anomaly where basically you have people that don't really support the Democrats because but what they've been doing is they trying to spy on you and stuff. They want to know what you're talking about, so they want to be in the huddle, so they give out money and stuff like that. And they said that they didn't want him, or some of them said that they didn't want him or her to run again. Um, but the thing is that this is a runaway train now. They can't do nothing about it, and and $96 million that was supposed to be for him is just a drop in the bucket to what she has now that she has decided to run for president. So that's a drop in the bucket. So first story, like I said, 96. Now, remember, we had people from Jacksonville that got on TV on Fox News and were saying that they were going to take their money back and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's sour grapes. But she has enough money now because right after Biden said that he would like to nominate her for a presidential run. The donation started coming in for her to run, and that's up to, I think it's up to, it's been like 2 weeks now. It's up to like 310 million. So apparently somebody on the news, they were saying that Biden had this $96 million, and that it was just donated to the Democrats in general, and that they didn't necessarily want her or Biden to run again. Okay. And that some of them started talking about taking the money back. 'Cause I know we have a person from Jacksonville, big time lawyer here in Jacksonville. He said he was going to take some of his money out of the campaign. I'm hoping that we haven't lost him to the Republicans, because I'm hoping that I'm hoping that he'll save Florida from DeSantis. Actually, because he's either going to run or donate some money for somebody to run in against DeSantis, and hopefully he'll get the job, and instead of DeSantis. So, but what I want to say is that the $96 million is a drop in the bucket now, because she's raised 310. So they said Biden has $96 million. Okay, but um, Donald Trump has twice that amount. And if she is nominated, it's still only half of what Trump has in his uh in his war chest to run for president. Okay, now it's 310 million now. When she gets the official nomination, that could skyrocket to around 400 million. Okay, that could skyrocket to 400 million for her presidential bid, which is going to, they purchased like a commercial airspace, commercial, for TV commercials and stuff like that, and that's what the money's supposed to go on to. But the thing is, what I noticed, she's getting a ton of free press, because people like Fox News, some other people, they won't stop talking about it. And they have become very opinionated because they got sued by Dominion. Dominion, who basically makes the voting machines or something like that for the country. Dominion filed a big lawsuit against Fox News, and they lost. And so they over the years, they've become opinionated, and they've become somewhat indoctrinated into this fake narrative that somebody stole the election from Trump. Matter of fact, I think that's what they got sued for. That's what Fox News got sued for. But I'm hoping that they can get past all of this stuff, because we have a milestone to pass here. We have a milestone to pass here, and I think that we can do it. I'm pretty sure that this will be the first woman president, and it'll be the first black woman president, and it's just milestone after milestone, and I'm hoping that it happens, because um, as we know, you know. Trump is not going to have any time to run the country. He's going to spend his time in court. He's got court cases in Michigan. He's got court cases coming up in Arizona. He just got beat in New York. They gave him 34 federal indictments. And he's got court case after court case coming up. And now they've even brought up something else, saying that he was taking money while he was in office from foreign countries and stuff like that. So he's not going to have any time to run the country. He's going to spend his time in court fighting the accusations from and federal charges from his last tenure. Okay, so he's not. You that are going to vote, you're fooling yourselves, because as the way the economy is going, we need a president's undivided attention, not somebody that's up there fighting all of those different federal cases in all of those different states like that. That's a bunch of different states. He's fighting all these federal charges and all this kind of stuff. So, um, but she has 310 million now, and I think it's going to go to 400 million when they when they uh when they do the Democratic National Convention. Now, some people said it was going to be like a coronation, because they were jumping the gun, and they were basically siding with her. They were already siding with her before the Democratic National Convention. Okay. So they were saying they don't want it to be like a coronation. But the thing is, and I'm going to show you this one too, is that you need 300 delegates to sign like a letter of intent for you to even make the convention roll call. Okay, there's something called a roll call, and the roll call, they call out all the names that's going to be running for president. Now, as far as the Democrats are concerned, you need 300 votes from delegates of different states to even put your name on the ballot. Okay, guess how many Kamala Harris has already? Okay, she has about 3,900, which means that there is no one else in the Democrats that's going to run against her. Their names are not going to be on the ballot. That's how they do their ballot. Okay, and the thing is that those people that said they wanted to take their money back and all this kind of stuff, um, you guys should shut up. Okay, because, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm saying, this because you keep going back to the same issue about the $96 million, and they're past that. They're past that. They're so far past it. They're past it. It's 310 million now, and when she gets the nomination officially in the beginning of August, um, it might go to 400 million. Okay, it's a inevitability that basically, you were complaining that it's it's a coronation and that they haven't even had the convention yet, but that convention is next week, and this is just basically people saying that that's who they're going to vote for. So um, the roll call may just have her name on the ballot. You need at least 300 votes from delegates from different states to get on the ballot for the Democratic National Convention. She already has 3,900. Okay, that they've already said that they're going to support her. So that's going to be pretty much a done deal. It's an inevitability. The problem is that some people are offended that they're talking this way now before they have the convention, but it's still an inevitability that she's going to be the nomination for the Democrats to run. Okay, so let's understand that, and let's get on with our lives. Okay, so basically, let's understand that and let's get on with our lives. So, um, let's see. That's what I want to say here. Okay, now this is another thing too. Okay, um, let me look this up right quick. Let's see. Governor of Michigan. Okay, there were a few people that could have basically put up put their names on the ballot for the Democratic National Convention. Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan, the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. She told everybody. She said, "Hey, Camilla's already in place. Um, I don't want to run against her. I want her to be run for president." Okay, and then you had Gavin Newsom from California, governor of California. Governor of California, Gavin Newsom told everyone too. Like a week ago, he said, "Hey, she's already in place. I don't want to run against her. Go ahead, Camilla, do your thing." That's what Gavin Newsom said. So basically, two of the top Democrats that could have put their names on the ballot if they would have cried foul, um, which there was no need to, they said they're not going to run against her. So it's an inevitability because you have these Democrats that have said that they like what President Biden was doing. They want Kamala Harris to continue it, and they said they were not going to run against her. Okay, and these are the top Democrats that could have ran against her. So just please, let's get over ourselves and not even try to stain the election process anymore. It's already been stained enough with someone complaining that the election was stolen and starting a riot. And I want to say out there right now to because this is basically what I said at the thing too at the city council meeting the other night. Um, those of you that are Republicans. Those of you that are Republicans, I suggest that you exercise some restraint because a lot of people they're saying, Trump got shot or whatever happened, or some of the feds were saying that it wasn't, that it was like a piece of glass or plastic, whatever it was that hit his ear. Um, and that, but the thing is that before you Republicans out there, and you know who you are, before you run off half cocked, before you run off half cocked and raid that Capitol building again, or destroy the Capitol building again, um, you need to think about what happened later. Okay, it was determined later that what happened. No one stole an election from Trump. No one stole an election from Trump. He was lying. And there's some other stuff that you guys don't even know about, that even in the news and stuff. Um, but no one stole an election from Trump. It turned out to be a big matter of fact. Trump is he's on trial in several battleground states for telling lies about the election. He called Georgia asking for 11,000 votes. And I remember the other day, Raphael Warnock made a good point about that. Raphael Warnock, senator from Georgia, he made a good point about that. He's talking about Trump. Trump was lying, and matter of fact, he called and asked these people to invent 11,000 votes for him so that he could win Georgia. Oh, excuse me. Okay, but the thing is, like I said, you got to pay attention to what's going on. Um, let's see here. But these are top Democrats said that they were not going to run against her, and the Democrats, they know what they want. They have their game plan. We don't have time for someone to be trying to put together a game plan, and they're going to spend all their time in court. Trump's going to spend all his time in court. He's not going to have any time. He's going to do two things when he gets in office. He's going to want this fictitious revenge against whoever tried to. He said he day one he was going for revenge for the people that stole the election, and he's on trial, and he's been sued by. I mean, they've been sued by Dominion. They've been sued up in New York. They've been sued in Arizona. There's a trial in Michigan going on that they might be indicting him too. They haven't decided yet. He's on trial in Georgia. But the thing is, like I said, nobody stole the election from Trump. That turned out to be a big lie. So before you guys run off half cocked, before you Republicans run off half cocked about this thing about this assassination attempt, you might want to get all the facts first, because some of it might not be true. I can tell you what stands out to me. What stands out to me is that basically they're having an argument. The people that are investigating it are arguing with each other internally about whether or not it was an actual bullet. Some people are saying it was plastic. Some people are saying that it was a piece of glass or something. Um, and you have Republicans who don't know anything about ballistics or ballistic charts or ballistic science or forensic science. You got these Republican politicians who don't know anything about that, basically demanding that you say that it was a bullet. Um, that they're demanding that they say it was a bullet, and some of the federal investigators are saying that they don't think it was a bullet. They said that some of them said it was glass. Somebody said it was, you know, either it was or it wasn't. And the thing is that it looks like they want him to appear like Jesus or something. That this thing just barely grazed his ear, and then that it. But there's some people that don't believe it. That they think, as a matter of fact, they got body cam footage of some of the local police saying that that's bullshit, and stuff like that. There's some of the local police at the event were saying that it was that. But what stands out to me about this is that the local police up there in Pennsylvania basically talked about this guy. They talked about this guy, whoever the shooter was. They talked about this guy for a freaking hour. For an hour before they notified the Secret Service. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you a chart that somebody came up with because I read this a couple of times to make sure I was reading it right. Okay. That is such gross negligence, but it's not from the Secret Service. Okay. I read this a couple of times, make sure I was reading this right. But basically, if you look it up, it's a New York Times article, and it says that this gunman was often a step ahead of the Secret Service. I don't know if you can see that. Gunman step ahead of the Secret Service. Okay, bad lighting in here. Okay, but it says the gunman was a step ahead of the Secret Service. So I read it to see what they were talking about. So apparently, the local police, the local police were assigned to this building where he took the shot from. Okay, undisputable fact. Who was assigned to watch that building? The local police were assigned to watch that building. Okay, that's undisputed fact. That's a fact. Okay, so this guy said that he on this article it says that he basically walked past this guy. One of the policemen walked past him. The kid was sitting at a park bench near the building. And instead of saying, "Hey kid, hey, you can't sit there. We got an event going on. You got to move, go somewhere else." And instead of telling him, he walked past him and just started texting. And it says that they talked about this kid back and forth. They took pictures of him. They took pictures of him. They text each other pictures of him and stuff. And this went on for like an hour. This went on for like an hour. This is these guys texting back and forth. And this went on for like an hour before they even talked about even notifying the Secret Service. And um, it appears to me that somebody should have said something to him. And the thing is, like it says, this is the chart right here. And some of y'all can look this up for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Like I said, it's a New York Times article about the gunman being a step ahead of the Secret Service. Now, this guy's 20 years old. 20 years old, and he's a step, they talking about it like he was a supervillain. He was a step ahead. How in the hell is a 20-year-old step ahead of the Secret Service? Doesn't make any sense. 20 years old. Okay, so that's another thing that stands out is the language that some of them are using about this, and and it's so 4:26 p.m. They say that the guy was spotted at a picnic table. Nobody said anything to him, and then they say at 5:14 that somebody took a picture of him and they started passing the picture around, text messaging, "Hey, this guy looks suspicious and he's sitting right there," and blah 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 blah. So they still didn't say anything to him. 6:11 p.m. he got off a shot. Three shots. Now, this looks like some kind of conspiracy, but it's not the Secret Service. It's from the local police. The local police uh possibly possibly might have set this up. It might be some kind of conspiracy. It might be some type of conspiracy. Um, and it might not, it might, so like I said, before you run off half cocked and raid the Capitol building again, uh, thinking somebody stole the election or somebody shot at Trump, you might want to wait till these facts coming out. Because see, this right here within itself says a lot about what happened. Um, the local police had eyes on this guy off and on for like an hour before he got off the shot. So that's what I think it was. I think that possibly this was some type of conspiracy so that somebody could pull support for Trump or try to make him look like Jesus, that this thing just barely missed his ear and all this kind of stuff like that. So it's kind of fantastic that it just barely missed his ear to me. But um I know what the Secret Service job is. That basically Secret Service says, okay, check this out. Okay, we're going to monitor this area right here. Now, there's a building over there, and you, local policemen, we want you to monitor that building over there, 200 yards away. Okay, we want you to monitor that building. Excuse me, 150 yards away. We want you to monitor that building. Okay, so what happened was, while they were in the process of monitoring that building or not monitoring, because it looked like they were not monitoring the building, they had one job. You have one job to monitor this one building, make sure nobody climbed up on the roof. They were in the building drinking coffee when the guy got a shot off. So it's like he climbed up on top of the building, climbed over their head, climbed across the roof over their head, and got a shot off. And you were talking about him for an hour? It's the local police's fault. I don't believe it's the Secret Service fault. So how can how can you justify something like that? Now, what probably needs to happen is that is that the Secret Service, when you as a Secret Service agent, when you assign a local policeman to something, you need to check behind him, okay? That he doesn't leave a door unlocked, that he doesn't leave the rooftop unchecked, that he doesn't leave the gate open or fence open. You when you assign if you're a Secret Service agent or director, and when you assign a local policeman to watch a building or cover a certain area, you need to check behind him, and that's period. Because these are the times. These are the times when stuff like this craziness happens, and before some of you go out and riot, y'all need to get the facts first, because it might turn out just like it was. What did we find out last time? Oh, well, nobody stole the election. Yeah, everybody. He got sued by Dominion. Fox News got sued by Dominion. Rudy Giuliani got sued by Dominion. Uh, Trump got 34 felonies in New York. Trump got 34 felonies in Georgia. Trump got 34 felonies in Michigan. Trump got 34 felonies in Arizona. And and nobody stole the election. So before you run off half cock, you need to get all the facts straight. Because it might be a hoax. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying that it's kind of fantastic that they talked about this guy for an hour and he still got off a shot. It's kind of fantastic that it just barely touched his ear. So there's kind of these are anomalies that are undisputable, and that's why I say, don't go off half cocked. Now, me personally, I am supporting Kamala Harris, and I hope that she wins. um I think it'll be good to have a woman president. And a thing that I want to bring up before I end the podcast here. Okay, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, and this is a heavy Republican state. um And we just recently had a Democratic mayor elected in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, but what I notice is that it's a lot of black people here in Florida, and especially in Jacksonville, that they lie on each other for basically like the police. They lie on each other for the police. Okay, now I don't care if they show you a black policeman. He's from a Republican controlled union. I don't care if it's a firefighter. I've been through this with some firefighters before too. I don't care if they show you a black firefighter. He's part of a Republican controlled union. I don't care if they show you a black policeman. He's from a Republican controlled union. And that's where their core values are. And so, what they have here in Jacksonville is that they have a bunch of black people that will just basically lie on people for the police or the firefighters and stuff like that. Now, I talked about this before. Crime Stoppers flew to from Texas to Jacksonville before to prosecute a policeman that had like a scam going, where he had this group of people that he would like a traveling circus. They would go over here and say they heard this, and then they would go over there and say they heard this, and then there would be people in jail going, "Hey, I never said that shit. Hey, I never said that. Who said that?" And he was getting $1,000 a pop from Crime Stoppers for these tips. And eventually Crime Stoppers caught on, and they basically filed a lawsuit. And so there is that I have proof that that process does exist. So what I want to say is that we all need to, if you support Camilla Harris, we need to watch each other's back, okay? Because the simple fact of that these people, like I was out the other day, job hunting. I went to apply for a job, okay, and the place where I went to apply for a job, in that same strip mall, there is a police substation. And I've complained to internal affairs like 1,000 times about some of the dirty cops in this neighborhood. And because, you would be surprised at what goes on with them and stuff. And it appeared to me, it appeared to me that basically this white cop just showed up all of a sudden. He wasn't there the day before when I went there, but this white cop, he showed up. He was either white or Hispanic, but this white or Hispanic police, he showed up there, and like he's manning the post. They have police. Like I said, there's a police substation in that same strip mall, and instead of security guards, they have cops inside the employment building, and but all of a sudden, there was this cop there. And like I said, he wasn't there the day before when I came. But there was this cop there, and he appeared to be asking this black woman that worked behind the counter to lie on me about something. So what I want to say is, if there's ever any question about Fletcher Community Media or Duane Fletcher, ask them to show you a videotape. Okay, ask them to show you a videotape of what they're talking about, because what they do is they lie, so they can start investigations, so they can harass you, so they can have a reason to put all kind of gadgets outside your house on the telephone pole, so they can have a reason to stalk you around and stuff like that. But I was just looking for a job. Okay, I had a folder with me, had my resumes in it, and and I needed to ask them a question, but like I said, it appeared to me that this policeman, and he wasn't there the day before, but they do have a policeman that's supposed to be stationed there, but he wasn't there the day before. But it appeared to be that he was asking this black woman behind the counter to lie on me about something, and I have grown weary of this process because it always they always end up getting caught lying. There's been a bunch of different times where they've asked somebody to lie on me, and then they get caught lying and stuff like that. And um, like I said before, Crime Stoppers has caught them doing this stuff before, uh, about different situations, stuff like that. I'm not saying I committed a crime or anything. I didn't do anything. I just walked in the building with my. And matter of fact, if you look on the videotape, you'll see it on there. That I'm just standing there with the paperwork in my hand. But um, if anyone says something like, ask them to show you a videotape, and this is how they keep my books from being sold in their mind. They have a reason to stop me because they're making up stuff and stuff like there was an incident at Family Dollar a while ago. Um, and it's just a bunch of different stuff that they've done before that makes me distrust their presence at certain times. Um, and in certain instances makes me distrust it, like they're up to something. Um, and like I said before, uh, what I would suggest is that if you support Camilla Harris, then we as a people, we need to talk to each other face to face about what's going on with the election process. Um, One thing that I noticed that I've had computer problems before that had to do with the books and stuff like that. Um, Double check everything. Um, if you send an email to somebody, call them and make sure they got that email. and you might want to ask them what was in it, just to make sure that there's no shenanigans going on. Okay, that there's no because I know why it's going on now. Basically, like I said, I've talked to internal affairs 1,000 times about some of this stuff. As a matter of fact, me and one of the city council people, we talked to the FBI one time. Um, and I wrote a letter to them about some of the dirty cops, some of the stuff that's going on with dirty cops in Jacksonville. Um, now, um, like I said, what I suggest is that the people that are supporting Kamala Harris, if you send an email to somebody, call them and make sure they got that email. And you might want to even ask them what was in the email, to make sure that they got the right email. That's what kind of stuff going on right here in Florida. And I know why it has started again, and they've like trying to call themselves ramping up the process or whatever. It started again because Donald Trump is a Floridian, and he is probably going to get his pants beat off of him by Kamala Harris. So they started this stuff again, and it's, hey, what if this person goes over here, let's lie on this person. If this person goes over here, let's lie on this person. Hey, let's huddle up. Let's huddle. Okay, tell a big ass lie on three. 1, 2, 3. Big ass lie. And they're running plays uh of disinformation, slander, defamation. Um, I've even I've even challenged uh, JSO, and Homeland Security. Asked them before, at the people at the security guards at the bus station, um, could they basically show me what a piece of paper, what's on whatever paperwork that you are monitoring me, and they won't fess up because they know it's a bunch of bullshit. And the thing is, like I said, if we're going to support Kamala Harris, we have to check on things. Okay. So if you are a Kamala Harris supporter and you're talking about the election, you send an email, call that person and make sure they got that email. Uh, and you might, like I said, you might even want to ask them, well, what was in the email you got from me? Okay. Because this is what kind of confusion that goes on in Florida. And the reason why I think it says started again, I'm gonna give a good example. I haven't talked to Internal Affairs in about 4 years, but I've talked to them at least 1,000 times about dirty cops in the neighborhoods and stuff. Okay, I'm exaggerating. It's not 1,000 times. It might be maybe 50. Maybe I've talked to Internal Affairs about 50 times about dirty cops in the neighborhood and stuff, but I haven't talked to them in approximately about 3 or 4 years. The truth be told, and the reason why I think that this harassment is starting again is because that they're trying. Well, of course, I know why they're going after me because I wrote all these books and stuff like that, and I got one of the biggest receipts I got was from Governor DeSantis when he said, "Hey, I want to smuggle a Serbian guy in from I want to smuggle that Serbian guy in from the Caribbean." I got a big receipt from DeSantis. So, um, but it's the books that I write. It's the stuff I talk about at city council meetings, and that's why they're going after me. And but I don't care. I'm not paying them any attention. They can't stop me from writing. This is a bunch of bull crap that they're trying to get people to lie on you and stuff like that, and it never holds up in court. Never has held up in court. Never holds up in court. So hopefully. I'm hoping that Kamala Harris win because I think I've just basically uncovered this stuff happening again where these guys they just start lying. Yeah, yeah, as soon as you walk out the house, there's people standing right there so that they can lie on you about something. Because it's something that they need to try to smear you so that somebody won't listen to your read your book or listen to your podcast or somebody won't find your issues interesting and things like that. And that's what they do. So, like I said, if we're going to support Kamala Harris, let's pay close attention to what's going on because there are gremlins out there. There are gremlins out there, and they don't just flat your tire. They don't just smash your window. They lie on you. They lie on you and try and put you under surveillance and stuff like that. So let's get past all of that bullshit and let's get on and let's get us a black woman in the White House. And I'm supporting Kamala Harris. I hope uh, many of you are also. Um, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for the country. Like I said. So that's just my opinion. So, like I said, um, if you get a chance to check out some of my books, Dance to the Mongoose, Codename Lionfish by Duane Fletcher, Codename Lionfish by Duane Fletcher. Oh, we got here the Nibblenecks, the Nibblenecks, the Battle of Flechet, the Arrows, the Black Hand, Chapter 1 and Act 2, the Black Hand Part 1, the Black Hand Act 2. These are all very good books. They can be found on blurb.com under author name Duane Fletcher. Okay, and also I want to say that um and during these times right here, up until the election and even after the election, um, it's gonna be some really big ass lies being told. Big ass lies being told on uh the Democratic people that have to do with the support. They're gonna go out and be lying on you and stuff. I think I just experienced it the other day. We need to file some lawsuits. If you catch them, let's file some lawsuits. Okay, slander, defamation of character, and things like that. Because it's gonna be some big lies being told in the following days. Because I can see it, the process starting again already here in Jacksonville, where I was trying to find a job the other day, and basically it appeared to me that this policeman was asking this woman to lie on me because he knows I've complained about the cops in his substation, across the walkway from there and stuff like that. Um, so um, let's support Kamala Harris and let's win. And she has my vote, and hopefully she can have your vote too. And if you get a chance to check out some of my books, blurb.com. My books are on blurb.com, BLURB, blurb.com. That's it.